really know or understand if you hadn't been there yourself. And one of them, just one of many, is one that we know very well now, which is Pakistan's involvement in the insurgency, in the militias, for its own reasons, which are very, very complicated. But Pakistan denied it, just, I guess, like Rwanda denies that it's involved in the Congo. Although a lot of damage is being done by at least aspects, of Rwanda that are in the eastern Congo. Well, the same in Afghanistan. We all know now that you can't solve Afghanistan without Pakistan being involved in the solution. But there was a time, actually, not that long ago, 6 years ago, when I would go there, and everybody in Afghanistan would say, Afghan people,
please, thank you.
Afghan people, those were my stories. And whenever the subject of militias came up, we would say, well, it's Pakistan. It was an article of faith. Although, of course, even that is not entirely true, or even it's also Afghans. But when you're there, you see it. And at one point, I was out in a place on the eastern border where we were, it was a place called Firebase, where you know, and we were covering the seed, and we were covering soldiers out of getting medals, sometimes Afghan soldiers getting medals, and talking to their mentors. And one of the soldiers who had gotten the highest honor that day had led a group of Afghan soldiers to chase the militias, and they killed them. 12 of them were dead, which this was right on the border, and these guys were thought to come from Pakistan. But I wouldn't have reported that, except that when I went in and talked to the villagers, and when I talked to the Afghan soldiers, what they had done is they laid the villagers, the dead militia out, the dead Taliban. I always hesitate to use that because there are a lot of groups. In this case, it was the Taliban. And said, come on, come get, they sent out the word, come get your men. And their families did come and get them. And they carried all of them over to the border. Over the border to Pakistan. So when you see something like that, or talk to someone like that a day later, or on September 11th of last year, 2011, I was there when the American embassy was attacked. And it was a major attack. And it was done by an empty building. It was done from an empty building, a 12-story building that wasn't finished, but all the stairs were in and whatnot. You could use the force. About 2 blocks away. So as soon as the actual attack was over, with our photographer and 2 of our producers, I ran over there. We ran over there and went up into the building. And we passed as we went up bodies. There were six guys killed, 6 of these Taliban killed. And we walked up and we passed one dead body, we passed another dead body, we went to the 11th floor. And there's 2 guys laid out, and 2 other guys that the Afghan, and there's 35 of them all milling about, which is always an issue too, because one of them is planted, and one of them is in it's like a suicide bomber. But we stayed in there, and we watched them tipping over these 2 guys carefully, because they really did think something might be planted on them. And then everybody sort of breathed a sigh of relief when they sort of tipped them over the bodies, and there were no explosives, and including the Afghan soldiers. And so they went over and started looking at them and said, look at those shoes, they're from Pakistan. And then one of them leaned down and pulled out a packet of pistachio nuts and went like this. Explodes, please. Took it right off the body, opened it up, took a taste, spit it out, and said, Pakistan. So, there's no substitute for being there. And the sort of sad and awful thing is, unfortunately, for all kinds of reasons, the newspapers having all kinds of troubles, and choices have to be made. The choice seems to be to pull back from foreign coverage. So I know there are foreign correspondents in this room, I know there are council generals in this room, I know that people here understand how important it is to cover the world.